Welcome inside Ken Nickel Recreation Center for some Senior B lacrosse. It's the first place Miners here between these two teams were real tight. Miners took the first one 9-6, and then the second was the Outlaws coming up big with the 7-5 win. As the ball back in the stick of Dewart, now down low. Into the stick of Royer. Step back and Forgrave, good stop by McLeod. He's been the starter for this Miners team for a few years now and has plenty of President's Cup experience, as does this team, obviously. Ball down the wall. That's the veteran Hairwires. Spent time with Ladner in the past. Six Nations, most recently in the Senior B loop, now with the Miners. Well-traveled, and of course he spent plenty of time in the NLL, primarily, at least recently, with the Roughnecks. As the ball is patrolled here by the Outlaws. Ball swings into the near corner. Simonson hits a cutter, one-handed grab, and Royer got pushed into the crease. Unable to stay out of it. Good attempt there, though. Miners survived that sequence. Here's Lachlan, another prolific scorer in his own right. Has been big in past President's Cups for the Miners. Here's Farrell. One of the few remaining Edmonton Eclipse Junior A alumni. Now out in front, stopped by Cavalinas again, and Scotty K coming up big for the Outlaws. That's going to be paramount for them. They need good goaltending if they're going to survive this game, as Walker grabs the loose ball. Another South Edmonton Warrior alumni. Here's Callan Harris. Ever so dangerous left side. He and Simonson and Forgrave, and then a wrap chance, and Harris catches McLeod unaware there, and it's 2-0. So the Outlaws coming ready to play here. They did take the early lead in Bill Hunter despite losing that game 17-6. Just over 2 weeks ago. That left side does more damage here. Should mention the referees for tonight's game: Wes Kendall, Tony Reed, and David Westwood, as the ball gets picked up and lost momentarily. Now we've got a call here. Got a hold coming up to the Miners. So Simonson will play the top of this power. So left side, Forgrave, Harris up top, Simonson. Right side, Dewart and Joe Royer. Ball swings in behind the net, now back up top. Dewart, inside feed, and then the ball got knocked away by Lentz. Good stick by Johnny. The ball goes loose, picked back up by Josh Dewart. And he'll flip down low to Royer. Simonson, step back shot, that's just misses, and now McLeod will look to outlet. Ball up, Ganton. That was a tough pass to handle. It was at his feet, but he does a good job to stay with it. Outlaws look like they wanted an 8-second count. Don't get it. And the former Junior A minor, Jackson Ganton, gets it safely up to Marcus Needham. The slick Marcus Needham shoots that, stopped by Cavalinas. And here go the Outlaws. Walker quickly over cross floor, and it'll be transitioned out. Handed off to Simonson, and the Outlaws, with just under a minute left on the power play, return to the floor. Dewart up to Simonson, back to Dewart as the ball works the way around the right side, now back over left side. Quick stick, and that just missed. Now Harris, loose ball, bounces it. They're going to say that hit the floor. It'll be Miners' ball. Well, we've got a disagreement because Wes Kendall says that went off of McLeod. Ball stays with the Outlaws, who have 35 seconds remaining on the power. Harris, now Simonson. As they work the ball back and forth between Dewart and Simonson, backpedaling. Dewart tried to fire that through the box. It's picked back up by Forgrave. Forgrave loses it momentarily. Now he's got it back in behind the net. Royer chased aggressively, loses it. Now he's tied up on the back boards, and Shanklin somehow doesn't get the interference call. It'll be Miners' ball as they're about to kill this off. So big kill here for the Miners. Bowen, leading scorer for the Miners, dangerous shooter off the right side. Ball goes off wall and picked up by Britton. Yet another alumni of the South Edmonton Warriors, longtime junior B Warrior as well. And a veteran of this Outlaws squad, Dewart, back to the wall on the right side. Ball swings. They tried to get it to Forgrave. He's tackled. Now a tie-up. Simonson to the net, and he scores! Sebastian Simonson on a broken play. There's a Miner down in front of the net. Don't quite know what happened there. It looks like it might be Burton. And the Outlaws have the early 3-0 lead. Ball pulled back right into the stick of Lintz. Walks around his defender Kelly, and he's going to look to dish. Farrell back over to Bowen. Excuse me, that's Hairwires. Now Greniak up at X, he sends it to Farrell. Farrell around to check. As Hairwires in the middle, couldn't handle the pass and then got slid on. Greniak picks up the loose ball, and he's going to have to try and get it to net with the shot clock winding down. It'll be Outlaws' ball. Luke Royer playing defense this year in a much-needed area for the Outlaws, as they need some better defense and defensive efforts in transition, just personnel-wise. That's where this team needs some help, and he's providing that for them. As Royer swim move to the net, stopped by McLeod. Cam McLeod up floor nicely to Justin Morgan. Right off bench comes Bowen. Leading the Miners in scoring, 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points. Believe he's in second or third in the division in points. That ball goes up and over its target. Outlaws ball. Outlaws playing some pretty good defense here so far. Much improved from what I saw from them when I did their game against the Knights here early in the season. Early still, but good signs if you're a guy in blue right now. Here's Ben Royer. That ball got knocked down by Shanklin. Nifty hop over top of Shanklin by Simonson to try to get the loose ball. Shanklin's going to box out well, though. And the ball will go into Miners' possession, but looks like we've got a penalty here coming up to the Miners. Perhaps a rough, as Forgrave got his helmet knocked off. Looks like Williamson goes to the box. Ball up top, Simonson. Harris down low to Forgrave, back up to Harris. Simonson backpedaling, fakes a pass, steps into one. Stopped by McLeod. I don't know if that ball actually got to him, but nevertheless, the Miners picked it up and sent it down floor. Now back in possession of the Outlaws. 3-0 here, halfway through the first. Dewart down low to Royer. Dewart stands inside, now he backs back out, and Simonson works it over to Harris. Harris back with it. Dewart. Harris steps into one. They missed that far side. Ball goes back to Dewart. Low shot, low to low, stopped by McLeod. Outlaws with still a minute and change remaining in this power play. Should get at least one more look here. But for now, McFadden in the Miners' control. Ball up top, hair wires. To the half wall for Wengreniak. Now Jack Royer. Bunch of goals for the Miners this season. Now a step down shot by Wengreniak is turned away by Cavalinas, who's making the saves that you would want to see him make here. And the Outlaws have about 40 seconds remaining in the power play. Simonson had to hustle for that. He saves it, and the Outlaws go to work. Royer to Harris. Back up top for Simonson. Royer looks inside. Back up top, Simonson. Royer. Cross crease feed. Forgraven behind the net. Out in front, and Harris buries it right on top of the net. It's 4-0. So the Outlaws doing a good job of sending a guy in behind the net to create that opportunity. You see teams do that on the power play, especially now with the jump attempt or the wrap attempts or the dunk attempts, whatever you want to call them. It makes it harder for defenses and man shorts to cover, and the Outlaws take advantage of that. Can bet you'll get a strong pushback now from the Miners as they see themselves down 4-0. But it is something they're not used to, especially in this league. They tend to step on everybody they play, as Royer off the right side looking to feed. That shot stopped by Cavalinas. Ball goes into the corner, and it's picked back up by the Miners. Hair wires with the reset. As the Miners ask for one, they get it. Hair wires back with it, down underneath, and he tried to flip that back for Bowen. That was out of his reach. And that'll take us to our first media timeout of the game. I want to thank you for joining us here on NetFront Sports. Hit like and subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. Please hit the thumbs up so this content can get out to as many people as possible. Free lacrosse, who can complain? And we got two good teams going at it here tonight in the Edmonton area. Miners using this media timeout to try to rally a bit. Their bench pretty lively. And they don't quite see Jordan Cornfield on the bench here tonight. I know Owen Williams and Cam Cedric are there. I saw Hawkins here, the junior A coach of the Mountaineers, who's also part of this staff. He's actually, I think Jordan is on the bench. Benches are hard to see here in this building. But it's the Outlaws' possession here. Royer skips down underneath. Royer to the net. And he tried to go far side as he jumped up in the air. Now we've got the officials going to confer here and try to figure out where this ball went. They're going to say straight out Miners' ball. Here's Yo. He hands it to Wengreniak. The former Outlaw comes down into the zone here. Now that shot comes in. Farrell with the heavy shot, stopped by Cavalinas. And now a bounce pass out to center. Dewart couldn't bring it in, and now Farrell's going to flip it back up floor, where it's picked off by Britton, who hustles over center. That's going to be a dangerous pass. That's going to go back over. They didn't blow it dead, though, and Williamson will pick it up anyway. And now the Miners' offense hits the floor. Here's Hairwires. It's an Outlaw defender, goes down. Now right to the net. Bowen almost had that far side, and Cavalinas shrugged it off. Ball back in the stick of Bowen up top to Marcus Needham. As he calls something out here, there's going to be a set run here by the Miners. They tried to work something off the strong side. Royer ripped high to high. That misses. Ball is picked back up by Jack Royer, who spent last year in the WLA with the Coquitlam Adnax, as did Eric Turner, also on this Miners roster. And now here's Ben Royer, one of 3 Royers on this Outlaws team, and of course Jack on the Miners. So you got 4 Royers playing in this game. Ball right side. Lintz backs off a little bit. As Forgrave off the wrong side of the floor. Slips inside, he's converged on. Shanklin slides on him. 3 Miners met Forgrave in the middle of the floor. And there was just nowhere to go for the very skilled and smart Forgrave. Good defense by the Miners there, as they look to work their way back in this game. Ganton's going to come and play some offense now for the Miners. Very capable, but he'll get called off now. As when Greniak into the stick of Needham. Up top to Jack Royer. The ball skips across the top. Underneath when Greniak, twister, stopped by Cavalinas. As the ball pops up and out of play, Miners get the reset. As we move along, a very fast-paced first period, already only 6 minutes to go in it. As the ball goes inside, Royer had the ball knocked away from him. Now Farrell, step-down shot, stopped by Cavalinas. Good reset here by the Miners. Lachlan will handle that. And he gets it to the half wall. Skipping out of there is Needham. Now he skips it over to Farrell. Back over. That shot out of the stick of Farrell was a very heavy shot, but this time wasn't on target. Back over, Outlaws ball. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in here. It's a good one here tonight. Outlaws Miners. As Dewart underneath to the net, and McLeod kind of did the scarecrow to shut off the short side there, made himself big. And now we got numbers here for the Miners. Right off the bench and firing it home are the Miners. I can't quite tell you who that is because I don't have a 10 on my sheet. As he runs to the bench here, I'll try to figure it out for you. I think he's got his name on his jersey. Looks like Adam Kennedy. I believe that's Adam Kennedy. I'm going off the top of my head. If I'm messing up his first name, that's my bad. But do not have an Adam Kennedy on my sheet. But nice goal nonetheless for the Miners. It has to be he's probably the only guy I don't know who they are on the floor, and of course he scores. But it was a nice goal, and the Miners narrow the lead down to 3. As the Outlaws come back down the floor. That's a bad pass. I think that's Hobday got killed near the boards. He wanted a call. He's not going to get one. And now we've got a delayed call coming up, looks like to the Outlaws. Slashing is going to be the call. So official Tony Reed comes to the box, tells everyone it's a slash. And Britton is going to get an extra 2 here. For unsportsmanlike. Tony didn't like what he had to say. So it'll be a 4-minute. Got 2 for slash and then 2 for unsportsmanlike. Miners will end up getting a 4-minute power play out of this. So you'll see Hairwires up top on this power play. Bowen on the shooter, Farrell on the crease. Lachlan on the right side with Royer down low.
2 minutes for slashing. Time for penalty for 45.
Hairwire skip feed down low, back up to Bowen. Tried to go cross crease are the Miners, didn't work out. Hairwire's back. Nice behind the back feed, and he gets it to Farrell, who's made a living out of that. Just off post on goal line extended, and all of a sudden it's 4-2, and the Miners are going to have 2 more minutes to work with on this power play. And it's such a weapon. If you have a guy that can throw that behind the back pass, because you're not turning your body, so it doesn't alert the defense and the defenders that you're about to make a pass and where you're going with the ball. And it's so much harder to read. And a lot of goaltending is reading the play, and it's makes it so much harder for the goalie to do that when you have a guy that can make that type of pass. So the Miners working their way back into this one, and we're not even at the end of the first yet. Farrell up to Bowen. Now Hairwires probably feeling it now. He tests that stick, and he's stopped by Cavalinas. That's a big stop, but we don't like to see this. It looks like Cavalinas is a bit shaken up. Getting confirmation in the chat that I was right. It is Adam Kennedy. So thank you for that. Glad I trusted my instincts on that. I waited to see his jersey, and I was pretty sure his first name was Adam, so apologies for that. I'm glad I got it right. I believe he spent time with the Junior A Mountaineers, if I'm not mistaken. So probably a Hawkins recruit. And it looks like we're going to start up with the Outlaws in possession out of their own crease. Ganton's going to pressure Harris. Harris runs out. Duff comes over to double him, and Harris keeps his feet. Now Harris is going to go right to the net. One-handed, he scores! Oh my God! Calvin Harris just slid, just kind of greased his way down the boards, and then took one hand off his stick and one-handed it past McLeod. What in the world is going on here in Beaumont tonight? Pay $10 to get into these games? That right there was worth the price of admission. Talk about all the skill in this game, from Forgrave to Bowen to Simonson to Harris to Hairwires to Wengreniak. I could go on and on. That's a hell of a goal. And now the Outlaws with a big short-handed marker to boot. And now they got their 3-goal lead back. Still got to kill off another minute. Ball up top. Hairwires behind the back. Bowen, Farrell. Bowen slides inside. He got hit high. That's going to be a call on the Outlaws. I believe that's going to be the former Miner, DJ Alamo, to the box. So you're going to see a 5-on-3 here for the next 52 seconds. Miners will hang a guy high, and it'll look like a 4-on-3 to viewers at home. Again, teams run that so they can space the triangle out of the PK a little better and have a guy that can save the ball from going back over, especially with the new rule. It's important to have a guy back there. As Hairwires down to the crease. Another behind the back feed to Farrell. This time Cavalinas says no. Hairwires skips it over to Royer. Nice feed, but the A release wasn't out of the stick of Farrell, but he does a good job of getting the ball back out to Hairwires. Farrell, Royer, shot, good stop. Cavalinas stopped again as he denied Royer 2 times in a row. The Outlaws getting close to killing off the first part of this power play. Hairwires, step down. Stop, or miss the net, and he picks up the loose ball. Farrell tried to go across crease to Lachlan. He whirls around and picks the ball back up. Nice pass to Royer. Royer inside. Stopped by Cavalinas, and the rebound. Farrell able to put it home. Just a little too much pressure there by the Miners, and they narrow the lead back down to 2. So that came just as, it looks like it came just as the first penalty expired. So they'll go back to even strength now with 2:15 to go, first period. Got a tie up behind the play. Burton trying to get his stick free. Now he's got the Outlaw pinned between his legs as the Miners go to work offensively. That stop made by Cavalinas. And Cam Wengreniak will grab the loose ball on the reset. Royer Needham. Cross crease feed, and Royer turned away by Cavalinas. Ball loose. Needham's going to pick it up. Needham down Main Street. Tried to go 5-hole. Cavalinas stops it, and then Royer looked like I think he was trying to fake everybody out that he picked the ball up. I thought he picked it up for a second, but I think the ball was in the equipment of Cavalinas. Outlaw ball. Simonson. Half wall to Royer. Joe Royer looking, and he's trying to get a pick set for himself. Now Royer cuts off ball, tried to get it back from behind the net. Ball is sent over the head of Adam Kennedy at center. Picked up by Cavalinas. Inside the 24. And now Josh Dewart comes away with it. Dewart sails one down floor. And it's picked up by Forgrave. Forgrave has space. He tried a shot that missed the net. Well, it went off something because they got a reset. Must have hit McLeod. And the Outlaws will pull out, try to set up the offense. Now slipping to net was Ben Royer. Good stick by the Miners to knock that down. Miner ball. Miners. And I don't know about that. I know they were trying to get the 2-for-1, but there was 35 seconds left. As now the Miners will get the loose ball, though, and they're going to get a timeout. They'll run a 6-on-5 with 24 seconds remaining.
Timeout called by Miners.
So out of the 6-on-5, you'll see, I'm sure they'll slide somebody inside and try to either seal down for somebody up top to shoot, come around and shoot, or they'll try to feed it into that guy if there's space for him to operate within. And you won't see them try to start their play until about, 9 seconds left. Lachlan will hold it until then. They're going to spread here. They're not sending anybody into the middle, at least not yet. Here they go, 9 seconds left. Wide open, Hair Wires has a 2-on-1 down low, but tried to feed it to the opposite side of the floor. And that almost went into the Miners' cage, which was empty. But that means after one, the Outlaws 5, the Miners 3. I want to thank you for tuning in to NetFront Sports here from Beaumont. It's the first place Miners and the second place Outlaws going head to head here tonight. Hit like and subscribe. We'll be back with you in just under 10 minutes time. Welcome back inside Ken Nickel Recreation Center in Beaumont for second period action between the visiting Miners and the Outlaws. The Outlaws, with a big start to this game, took a 4-0 lead. The Miners answered with a couple on the power play, and we sit 5-3 Outlaws going into the second. Just got a quick glance at the chat, really active here tonight. Great to see, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. Got a lot of people in the lacrosse community I know to be watching this game tonight. Shout out to everybody out there. And I hope you're enjoying the broadcast here for Beaumont. First place Miners and second place Outlaws. As it looks like we got a face-off violation here. They're going to award the ball to the Miners, and they'll have the first possession of the second period. Very veteran officiating crew here tonight. I am missing seeing Sean Reed in the arenas. He's reffing a lot less. His brother's here, and hair wires with the pull, high to high, short side. And just like that, the Miners are within one. That's a gorgeous shot. Probably the most the hardest to execute is that pull shot, short side, up high. But if you can do it, it's also the toughest for the goalie to read and react to. Hairwire showing you why he's been a bit of a hired gun over the past decade in Senior B lacrosse. As the ball pops up and it's picked up by Burton, the former Victoria Shamrock in the WLA and Calgary Roughneck. Ball goes down low into the stick of Glenn Greniak. He's got NLL experience of his own with Panther City and the Rush. And now right down Main Street, Hairwire scores back-to-back. Book Zach Hairwires in for a couple, and the score is tied. That was probably the first time tonight that the Outlaws defense had a serious breakdown. They've been pretty good, much improved here early in this game, but the Miners starting to work their way back. The ball gets picked up nicely and maybe a partial break for the Outlaws. Now a full-on break. Forgrave scores! Ethan Forgrave came storming out the front gate, and that's what good old guys do with awareness. Almost like he was coached a little bit growing up, and as he moved through the ranks to go hard out the front gate, especially as that initial guy, he capitalizes off the opportunity. It's 6-5. And folks, if you're a lacrosse fan in this province or really anywhere, no reason to not be watching this game. Great display of skill and experience here tonight as these two teams trade punches. Is Eric Turner out here as he gets some offensive time. Again, playing last couple seasons, or maybe even the last few seasons with the Coquitlam Adanacs in the WLA. He's got NLL experience under his belt as well. Former Crude standout and Junior A minor. As we got some sort of issue in the crease. Cavalinas, I don't know if it's if it's his equipment or if it's his leg. Looks like it. I'd imagine that it's injury related, because as I get a score update also in NetFront right now, the Chill leading the Mountaineers by a score of 4-3 after the first period in a big showdown in the South in terms of Junior B lacrosse. But yeah, I gotta believe that it's injury related with Cavalinas, but he looks good to go here as he shakes out whatever's wrong with his leg or foot. Simonson will bring it up. There, Royer. Back to Simonson. Skips it over. Left side, Benny Royer. He gets it to the half wall for cousin Joe. Joe steps back. Still got it. Royer ripped it short side wide. And now the Miners have an opportunity to go. Can they get a 2-on-1? It's going to be tight, but Yo takes that shot and rips it off of the arm. Cavalinas, the ball will stay with the Miners. Yo feeds it to the right side for Needham. Marcus Needham, part of that 2022 Miners Junior A club that went to the final in Brampton before falling in the third and final game of that final to the Whitby Warriors in heartbreak. 6-5 now, back the other way, Forgrave, and that shot went off a stick. Again, Forgrave floods off the bench. Ball goes loose. Miners having some trouble picking it up. Good work by Chris Britton. Couldn't pick it up, but he kept the ball alive for Forgrave. Forgrave floats it up high for Simonson. He's got heavy pressure on his back. Turns back. Simonson whips it into the stick. Forgrave with a whipping shot. Stopped by McLeod, who I'm not sure people realize how good he's been over the past few seasons for this Miners team and has really stepped up in President's Cups in the past. Ball goes up and off the floor. Forgrave tried to scoop it behind his back. Ball goes loose. Benny Royer gets tripped up. We'll get a call. Joe Royer is going to settle it down. The Outlaws are going to go to 6-on-5. Harris with a winding rip to the top corner, short side. My goodness, that had a lot of heat on it. And on the delayed call, the Outlaws make it 7-5. Callan Harris continues his torrid pace here. Came into the game leading the Outlaws in scoring with 11 goals and 4 assists. He's added to that total here tonight. We still have a Miner going to the box here, so I don't know what the deal is here. We'll wait to find out. There was a trip, but the goal should wipe that out. And now it looks like Cavalinas is banged up. He's going to make his way out of net, and he'll be replaced by Chayton Hetman. So it looks like a check from behind or cross-checking penalty to Ganton. Cavalinas still talking to the trainer in behind the net here, trying to figure out what the issue might be, but he's definitely banged up, and Hetman will be back in the net. Just looked like he tweaked something, talking about Cavalinas, as Burton swims away from trouble. Tyler Burton bounces it up high to Lintz, who's been a great defender for 2 decades, and I'm not exaggerating. Guy's been really good for a long time. And it takes a special type of player to be playing at that level for that long, as the ball's bounced into the backboards, and then the rebound comes out a second time for Turner. Ball's going to be picked up by the Outlaws and transitioned out. Forgrave, far half wall. We'll wait for some help. Outlaws on the power play, as I mentioned. Still got about 1 minute and 15 to go on it. Ball up high. Dewart, step down shot. Good stop by McLeod. Ball goes loose into the far corner. Picked up by Forgrave. Nice pass to Dewart. Down low, Joe Royer. Up high, Simonson. Into the middle, Harris scores on a great feed by Forgrave as Harris was falling to the floor. able to throw a fake and come back short side on McLeod. Beautiful work by the Outlaws. That left side continues to be a problem. It's 8-5. Growing up as a kid, you used to see John Grant Jr. in the back in the day kind of do that, where he'd fake the goalie out by making it look like he was falling to the floor, and then as he was going down, throw a fake and then go back up over top of him. It would cause the goalie to naturally kind of drop. And Harris did a bit of that there. Really crafty work. As we got another goaltending change, this time the Miners, another veteran coming in, Matty Hebert for the Miners. McLeod keeps his helmet on. Got to imagine they're just going to go with a reset here. Try to get McLeod back focused and send him back in. But we'll see. But I got to imagine that's what they're going to do. McLeod still has his helmet on. 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to see. Good face-off win by the Miners. They got to do some work to pick it back up, and McFadden grabs it and sets up the Miners in possession. Miner lost his stick. He'll have to go off. Lachlan up top. Threw it behind the back and behind Needham. Ball pops off the boards. Good grab by the Outlaws, and they race out. Good work in transition. Ball safely up to Hobday. Ball with Royer. Now Dewart. Dewart skips it down to Simonson, gets it back. Dewart pump fakes and then shoots it. Good stop by Hebert on his first shot that he's seen. Now Hebert, nice pass to Yo. And now he gets it to Jack Royer. No look, one-handed feed, evades a couple of Miners, picked up by hair wires. Credit to the Outlaws, who had this game tied up immediately on back-to-back goals by hair wires, have responded with 3 of their own. Now hair wires jammed up in front of the net, almost reached around Hetman. Now a dunk attempt, and Royer was pretty much full on in the crease there. Don't know if that went in or not. Don't think so. And even if it did, would not have stood. Ball right side. Ben Royer hops in, feeds it to Joe. Joe up top. Quick pass. Cross crease feed, and that's good stop by Hebert. Ball bounces in behind the net. Lintz has full possession. Nice pass up floor. Lachlan out the gate. He's met by Britton. Trailers need him. Down to the dotted. And now Farrell will control. Jake Bowen, as I said, leading this Miners team coming into the game and scoring. That shot right into the stick of Hetman, who outlets up floor to Hobday, who's an under-the-radar addition to this Outlaws team. They need some guys that can help transition the ball, get the ball up the floor, and be reliable in that facet or in that aspect of the game. And he's doing some good work for them here tonight. Dewart swings it. Simonson to the half wall. Royer skips around to check. Good recovery by Ganton. Ganton forces a tough shot by Royer, easily handled by Hebert. Here's McFadden. He's got pressure. Ball falls out of his stick, and now here come the Outlaws. Partial 3-on-1. Here's Walker, stopped up high by Hebert. And so Hebert with 4 or 5 saves in a row here since he came in. And the Miners hanging around here. Here's Turner. He's got a cannon of his own. Another guy who can shoot the ball. Farrell misses the net. When Greniak to Turner. Step down. Stopped by Hetman. Rebound. Again, that's just a fake. Every time I see a guy do that, I think he's picking the ball up. As the Outlaws come back the other way. Forgrave. feeds it. Harris was just too tight to the crease there. Couldn't bring it in. And Hebert will come up floor. So for now, it looks like, and Hebert's done well since coming in, so I don't see any reason that they'll take him out. For now, he's going to be your goalie for the Miners. After that change, McLeod still with his helmet on though, so we'll see. Lachlan, Grenier circling around. He gets it up to Bowen. Bowen, drag move, got jammed up, and good stick check there by the veteran Britain, and he's going to try and get into a 2-on-1. He's tracked down by Ganton nicely. Ganton pressures him. Ball goes loose. Ganton all over him. He takes him into the end wall. Ball remains loose. Really nice pickup there by Joe Royer. He sends it over to Forgrave. Outlaws offense here. Forgrave. Shot off of a body. Looked like Kennedy soaked that. Miners ball with 30 ticking down. Here's Farrell. St. Albert's own Dean Farrell again. One of the very few remaining Edmonton Eclipse alumni in the Senior B League. You also got Aaron Duff on this Miners team. Played junior A lacrosse with the Eclipse, for those who remember them. As the ball left side, Harris. Jump shot, stopped by Hebert. Good loose ball by the Outlaws. Forgrave, drag move to the net. Stopped by Hebert, rebound right out to Harris. As he took a quick shot, Hebert shuts that off as well. Can the Miners start to get some transition here? That might be a key for them, as there hasn't been a whole lot of that in this game their way. All the transition has been in the Outlaws' favor for the most part. When Grenier, step down shot, misses the net. Goes off of an Outlaw, I believe. We'll wait for the call. Yeah, that will be the call. Miners ball, and that'll take us to our second. Well, I thought they were going to call for the media timeout. They're still discussing on who that hit. And they do say Miners ball here. So the ball is going to start up top. Well, yeah, now we will get our media timeout. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight from Ken Nickel. It's the first place Miners, second place Outlaws in the 5-team senior division. Miners coming in at 3-0, Outlaws 2-1. And as I said off the top, the Miners hosting the President's Cup for the third time in the last decade. They hosted in 16 in Leduc, in 22 out of Bill Hunter, and then this year, 2026, they'll be at Silent Ice in Nisku. That means another team out of this division will be representing Alberta and the President's Cup. And you got a lot of competition for it. Miners will be in as host, and then you got the Outlaws, the Knights, the Mountaineers, and the Rebels all vying for that second spot. And if the Miners make the final, which everybody will expect them to do so, then that team that makes it in with them will have earned that right to compete in the 2026 President's Cup. Miners, of course, winning the President's Cup in 2016, 2017, and 2018, becoming the first team to three-peat since, I believe, the Vernon Tigers. It had been quite a while, and they've gotten plenty of bronze and silver since, but it's eluded them that national title since 2018. They'll look to reel in some hardware again as they host that 2026 President's Cup this August, as I said, in Silent Ice in Nisku. And the Outlaws trying to join them, as are the other four teams. Hobday coming up, floor, he's taken into the boards heavily, and now the Outlaws come back down floor. Turner looking to dish, he gets it to Farrell. Dean Farrell still in possession here as the Miners complete the change. Bowen Low pass. Turner's picking that up off the cement. Now Royer to Bowen. Inside. And that low-to-low shot on the underhand. Misses the net. And now the Outlaws have a partial break. Harris, can he get to net? He's chased by McFadden. Harris thought about maybe going around the world. Thought better of it. And he'll keep possession. Ball goes high off the stick of Royer, who did a good job to even get a stick on that. And now the Miners get some of that aforementioned opportunity in transition, but the pass was in behind Yo. Ball saved by hair wires. Miners offense sets up. Here's when Greniak, former Raider, former Junior A Titan, former Panther City, former Saskatchewan Rush, and former Outlaw. Played for a lot of different teams as the Outlaws come back up floor. Here's Royer. Forgrave comes up with it. Now to the half wall. Simonson. That shot goes wide. Ball picked up, but wasn't brought in by Burton. Simonson whips it over to Royer, who ripped it off of the crossbar, and now Farrell's got a break. Deed Farrell misses the target, and Turner does a good job of hustling and saving that back over. Eric Turner misses the target as well. Turner, Farrell, up high. Burton the trailer, and that's smothered by Hetman. Now the Outlaws transition. 3-on-2, and a good save dive there by Hebert, who hasn't let one in since coming in about 5 minutes into this second period. Still 8-5, the Outlaws continuing to lead. As the Miners are going to get a penalty, or get a power play. Delayed call coming up against the Outlaws. They'll go 6-on-5 as, oh, McLeod's back in. I didn't see that change. I don't know if anybody around me, see if producer Eric, did you see them switch McLeod back in? How long ago? The media break? Okay, at the media break, it was McLeod going back in. As we call for a floor wipe, I believe, here. Official Tony Reed. Want to thank everybody for tuning in here. NetFront Sports, hit like and subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. Cannot stress enough. Please hit that like button so these games can be fired out to more people. Really appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight. It's been a great one from Beaumont. Still plenty of racetrack to go. So the Miners go to the power play. 6:39 to go, second period, trailing by 3. Luke Royer is the guilty party as I see him sitting in the box. And thanks everyone for being active in the chat. Love to see that. Hope that becomes more of a common thing as we move along through the season and into the playoffs. When Greniak down low, swings it. Farrell, quick stick, just missed. Royer grabs the loose ball, and the Miners don't get the reset, but they will reset their power play. When Greniak back up top, backpedaling is Royer. Seal comes, step down shot when Greniak good stop by Hetman, who also I don't think has let in a goal since he's come in. And that's not easy to do. Both teams having guys come off the bench into their net, playing well. Cold, if you will, as this is pulled in by Greniak, stopped by Hetman, who read that shot. And the Outlaws, Hobday comes down floor. He's going to move it to Royer off the bench. Ball up top, Harris. as he'll be content to hold this for a while. Harris deep into the corner. Marked there by Ganton. He'll smartly roll the ball in behind the net. McLeod will outlet with 45 seconds remaining on the power play. These are the last two franchises to bring home the President's Cup to Alberta. The Outlaws, before the Miners dynasty, if you will, were perennial Alberta champions, winning a couple times in 2002, and I believe I want to say 2007. They won out east. It was 2007-ish. Do not have that. I'm not looking at anything formal there. I'm just going off of my memory. My dad did play for both these franchises, grew up watching a lot of senior lacrosse, so I remember those teams well. My uncle as well, or multiple uncles, as the ball comes up floor. My dad played for so long, I almost played against him when I was in junior A. As that ball goes wide, it'll be outlaw ball. Outlaws take over. Ben Royer skips it down low. Simonson comes out of the corner. Up across dotted, and that almost got in behind McLeod. And then Forgrave just had the ball roll out of his reach. Miners transition out. Kennedy, who has a goal in this game, did have it confirmed, was on that 2023 Mountaineer team that played in the Minto Cup. Ball goes into the crease, picked up by the Outlaws. Hetman, the goaltender, still having not relinquished a goal since coming in. Ball down floor, picked up by Harris. What's been a well-played game here. Out of Ken Nickel, Harris is harassed there by a couple of Miners. Lintz ties him up. Ball goes loose. And the Miners turn back the other way. Ball in the stick of Turner. Feeds it. Farrell. Now Royer. Off of multiple junior A Miners appearances in the Minto Cup. Was one of their more dangerous O guys in that 2022 Minto that they got so close to winning and making history. Ball's into the stick of the Outlaws. And Luke Royer will transition out. Luke will stay and play some offense on that left side. They go strong side left. Flip pass. Kelly up top. Forgrave drags it. Spins back. Shot. Stopped by McLeod. As we've gone quite a while without a goal here after a very high-scoring first period and goals right off the bat in the second. I feel like we've been 8-5 since about the 15-minute mark of this second period. Miners ball here, right side. Quick stick, and that's fought off by Hetman. Ball pops out front. When Graniak hustles and saves it, good effort there by Cam. Will keep the ball in Miners' possession. That's the kind of grit you want to see out of your front gate. As they get extended possession here. Ball right into the stick of Lachlan. Tried to go backdoor for Bowen. Good pick there by the veteran Osterman. Another guy that grew up in the Warriors organization, and now a 5-hole shot in transition from Hobday. Stopped by McLeod. As the scoreless stretch continues, the Miners back over center. Kennedy looking to feed, gets it down low to the half wall, and now he'll get it back before he changes. Farrell, Needham, step down, that misses the target. Ball pops in the air. Jack Royer with the fly ball. Tried to feed Farrell as he cut underneath. And a jumping shot. Stopped by Hetman. So we go underneath the final minute of play here in the second period. Outlaws work it on the left side. Again, strong side left. Ball into the stick. And now fed Simonson, and he got turned away by McLeod. Good off-ball cut by Sebastian there. McLeod sharp with the answer. Here's Joe Royer back up top. Forgrave looking at the middle. He swings it over to, I believe that's Gain if my sheet's correct. Now Simonson, swim move. Simonson rips it wide. Loose ball. Forgrave up top and behind the net. Simonson, wrap chance. And that hit bar. They say he landed in the crease before anyway. And now here come the Miners. 15 remaining in the period. As McLeod makes his way out of the net. Hairwires, one-handed pass. That shot, 5-hole, turned away by Hetman, and that's going to do it as Hetman throws the ball down the floor as the horn went anyway. With the score, the Outlaws 8, the Miners 5. After 2 periods of play, want to thank everybody for joining us here on NetFront Sports. Hit like and subscribe. I'm Mohamed Joma. You can find me on Twitter, MJ_9, and on Instagram, m.joma. And I'm also joined here by producer Eric Krause and, of course, great cameraman Tristan Shaw. After 2 periods, it's the Outlaws looking to pull the upset, up 8-5 on the Miners. Don't miss the third. We'll be back with you in 10 minutes. Welcome back inside Ken Nickel Rec for third period action between the Miners and the Outlaws. The Outlaws looking to complete the upset here, leading by a score of 8-5. Can't thank everybody enough for being with us here tonight on NetFront Sports. First 5 minutes or so will be really key in this one. Outlaws gonna not want to let the Miners get any momentum here. Still plenty of time for them to do so. And it kind of feels like the next team to go on a bit of a run is gonna win this game. Outlaws obviously with a sizable advantage, up 3 with only a period to go. As we get the first possession here by the Outlaws, Duart. That pass was wide of Simonson. Yo mishandles it, but the Outlaws are going to bail, get off, and the Miners' offense is going to take over. Farrell across center. He's marked there by DiGirolamo, the former Miner. Farrell is going to swing it up top and get it back from Hairwires. Farrell steps into one, and that went off of a body. Miners reset. Shot clock was already down at 27 by the time that possession started again. But here's Bowen right inside and wide open. He came off of a slip pick. Stopped by Hetman. Luke Royer looking to dish. He gets it to Callan Harris. Harris up top, Simonson, back to Harris. Swings it into the stick of Duart, who opened the scoring here tonight. Duart misses the target, got sent down to the cement. It looks like they're gonna say outlaw ball here with the reset. Again, okay, that time they reset the clock. As the ball now with Gain, right side. Gain, step down shot. And that popped out of the net real fast. As they check for holes in the net. And they also want a wipe of the floor. Low-to-low shot there, sidearm shot, goes home, and the Outlaws back up 4. So the kids helping out tonight here with the floor. Make their way off. We should be good to go. 18:24 remaining. The Outlaws with a big goal to get scoring back in order after we went, I don't know, almost a full period without a goal. I feel like it was about 15 and a half, 16 of the second period to go since we had our last goal. That's a big one for the Outlaws if they want to try and stave off a Miner comeback, but the Miners definitely not dead yet. Loose ball, Royer vacuums it off the cement, sends it over to Kennedy. Kennedy to Royer. Royer to net, gets turned away. A second Outlaw defender comes after him. That's Green. Good defense there. Forces the Miners back out. Floor getting slippery here. Hairwires. Drags a defender to the net, flipped it over top of it. Ball goes loose. Now 30-second shot clock expiration, and I think we're gonna get another wipe of the floor here. As Walker feeling the effects of that. I think he was the guy who slipped there. Gotta hope he's okay. as the floor brigade is busy here tonight. It's been really hot here the last few days. Floor most likely sweating, and it's always frustrating as a player. Very tough to plant and go and cut. It's one of the reasons why I'm a big proponent of turf. I know some people don't like turf, but as a player, usually much better. As the ball swings into the stick assignments, and he comes across the top. Now to Harris. Harris winds and fires a bullet off of the J-bar for those at home where the post and crossbar connect. We'll get a reset here with Simonson picking the ball up the floor. Here's Simonson. The half wall Foregrave. Lost the ball. Lintz chases him. Harris is going to step in to try to pick it up. Morgan and Lintz are going to work there for the Miners, trying to gain possession. Lintz and Foregrave push. As we watch, it develops there, it won't be much. The Miners come back up floor. That shot comes in, stopped by Hetman. Loose ball comes back out. Farrell's pushed off the loose ball, but he has it come right back to him, and Royer slipping in near center gets back up. Here's Lachlan, the veteran, get pushed out high. He sends it over to Wengreniak. Wengreniak swings it. Needham looking to the middle. Needham circles up high. Marcus Needham bounces it right into the stick of Hetman. Outlaws having some trouble, goalie to player here with the ball. As the players continue to slide around here, Needham comes away with the loose ball. Farrell to Ganton. So when Greniak goes down now, we've got a call coming up. When Greniak shoves Osterman. Ganton stepping in, we've got some extracurriculars here. We'll see what they call. I think the original penalty was to the Outlaws, as when Greniak got sent to the floor. For now, when Greniak and Osterman in the box for each side, I would guess we're going to go 4-on-4. That looks like what we're going to do for the next 2 minutes. So Royer starts it back into play. Ball left side. Ball gets stripped. Good work there by the Outlaws. Green creates the turnover, now a breakaway. Wolney in, rips it right off the midsection of McLeod. Good forced turnover there by Green, aggressively creating the breakaway for Wolney. Miners back in possession. Royer got knocked off the ball as he attempted to quick stick it. Ball goes loose. Heavily into the boards when an Outlaw. Ball remains loose. Continuing to battle for it. Ball pops in the air, and it's picked up by Wolney, who sends it down floor because I believe that 8-second count was going. And Morgan will pick it up for the Miners. Justin Morgan sends it cross floor for Lachlan. Lachlan and Royer operate out of the two-man game right side. Lachlan up top, Farrell. Royer in the middle. Nice drag move. Jack Royer got stripped. And now here the Outlaws in possession. Flip up in the air as Wolney takes a whack at Hairwires. Hairwires shoves him back. I think Tony Reed's going to say both guys are going into the box here. Hairwires and Wolney. Might have 3-on-3. 3 on 3. Miners are going to get possession. It's going to be, should be 3-on-3 here. Well, they're saying 4-on-4, perhaps. So we'll go 4-on-4 here for the next 2 full minutes. Looks like we're going to get some more floor attention here. I want to remind you to hit like and subscribe every time a game goes live, every time a podcast hits or any piece of content hits the airwaves, you'll be notified. And what has been a good one here tonight from Ken Nickel. Outlaws up by a score 9-5, 14.5 remaining. Continue to have some discussion here at the penalty box. Looks like we've got it sorted. 4-on-4 we go. Royer starts it back up. Ball left side, Bowen. Miners leading scorer coming into the night. Farrell to Royer. Led them and was right up there in goals. Farrell is going to have to hurry to get back, and now Green vacuums the ball up. He's got a partial break. Jaden Green is stopped by Hebert, or by McLeod. And here go the Miners. Lachlan. Pushed out by D. Girolamo, still wearing his Miners bucket. Bowen inside. Farrell, twister, he got hit, and that affected the release. Outlaw is going to turn away, up center, up over center. Goes Walker. Walker up high to Royer, who jogs into the zone. Royer to Dewart, back to Royer. In the middle, wide open, and Luke Royer smashed the crossbar. Good loose ball there by McFadden. The former junior A minor works his way over center, hands it to Burton. Miners gonna have to go to work here, starting to run out of time now. 13 to go, down 4. Needham. Down into the far corner, gets it back, stopped by Hetman. Hetman actually spending some time in the WLA with the Burnaby Lakers a few years ago. He's playing Senior B, and they were calling him up a little bit. Here's Harris. Into the corner for Simonson, pick set by Ben Royer. Simonson tried to swing it back to him. Back in the stick of Simonson. Simonson underneath twister. Stopped by McLeod. Cam McLeod looking to outlet. Into the stick of Ganton on the rainbow. He gets it to Bowen, who did a good job of catching that. Here goes Jack Royer down this seam, and he missed the net. Here's Forgrave off bench. Forgrave one-on-one with Burton. Forgrave will pull it out, draws a second defender, and Royer almost able to go in behind, but then the Miners recover. Here's Gain up top, swings it, Simonson, Forgrave into the middle, oh, Ben Royer, and he hung on to that a little longer than I think you would expect. Still got the shot off, missed the target. Williamson drags his man down, and the Miners gain possession. Now in transition, when Gruniak, wearing the rush gloves, backpedals to the half wall. He's strong side left with Farrell and Bowen. Bowen sets a pick, rolls to them. That's not Bowen. That's McFadden. Set a pick, rolled to the middle. That shot came in, stopped by Hetman. So McFadden playing a rare shift, and then Dewart sent awkwardly into the boards. And Burton's got a partial 2-on-1. Ganton takes his man out. It's going to be a moving pick. Now we're going to have another wipe of the floor. So the score was 5-5 with about 16 minutes to go off the top of my head in the second. Actually earlier, it was like 18 and a half, because Hairwire scored back-to-back to tie it at 5. The Outlaws have been playing shutout lacrosse ever since here. It's what, a period and a half, almost. Not too many times you see this Miners team go that long without a goal. See if they have one final push here as we approach the final 10 minutes of this game. Ball back in play, it's Simonson to Dewart, who is looking okay after that awkward fall into the boards on the hit, which is a good sign for everybody. Simonson hands it to Harris. Harris, stutter step. Harris thought about winding and firing. He threw it into the middle, where Lentz picks it off. And the ball goes up floor. You can tell the player's footing isn't great here in the third period, as now Bowen comes onto the floor. Jake Bowen sends it over to Jack Royer. Gets it back. Bowen rolls. Jack Royer, step down shot, goes off of an Outlaw stick into the corner. 30-second shot clock goes. Skipping into the zone, Ben Royer. Forgrave. Simonson. And now Osterman, the captain, playing some offense on the right side. Drag move. Forgrave tried to flip it back. He got sent to the floor on a hard hit. Well after the fact, Williamson comes up floor. Miners possession. Can they make what would be a pretty heavy comeback at this point? Ball goes off a body. We'll get looks like we're gonna get a media timeout here. Don't really know why we're having one, because we've had about 5 of them in the last 5 minutes. But nevertheless, with 9:23 to go, we'll pause one more time. So it would not shock me if you start to see the Miners go 6-on-5 with the goalie out at, I would imagine, at least 5-6 minute mark. I don't think you can wait much longer unless you start to really cut this lead down. And if you wait any longer, it's too late by that time. And a lot of people talk about, oh, it's 3, it's 4 goals, it's 2 goals in lacrosse. It's quite a bit. Man, it's not easy to come back from those types of deficits late in the game. As the Miners set up here, Needham to Turner. Turner swings it. Royer wide open, and that shot low, stopped by Hetman. Rebound comes right out to Needham, and the Miners will reset. Here's Farrell. Flip pass up to Hairwires. He gets it to Needham, and Needham threw that in behind Jack Royer. Ball goes loose. Ball into the stick of Turner. Behind the back feed, Farrell, and that is a good stop by Hetman. Maybe his best of this third period as he had dangerous Farrell right on top of him with all day. My Outlaws got to hurry to get it over center. Outlaws do so. Britton to the dotted, misses the net. Harris couldn't grab the loose ball. Miners will collect. Can the Miners gain some traction with all the firepower they have out this front gate? Got Lachlan, who scored his share of clutch goals, out on the floor right now, and we got another wipe here. There's 8:10 to go here. These kids are being put to work. So we start back in our own zone. Outlaws with the ball. Forgrave. Up high near the rag line. Ball pops up in the air. Man, the gate's open there. That's dangerous. The ball went into the bench, and it's going to be Outlaw ball. 7:40 to go. As time is really starting to be a factor. If I'm Jordan Cornfield and this coaching staff, I'm pulling McLeod on the next possession. You got to throw caution to the wind. 4 goals in 7 minutes is a lot. As Royer steps to the middle and just takes that shot. Good stop by McLeod. The Outlaws would be smart to use another 30 here. And that's what they look like they're going to do. Simonson gets the feed. Strong side left they go. Royer thought about a shot. Didn't take it smartly, and he swings it over to cousin Joe. Joe up top. Step down shot. Gain. Hit McLeod's foot, it looked like. The ball goes into the corner. And the Outlaws are going to get another reset. And at this point, definitely, if I'm Jordan Cornfield, I'm running 6-on-5. Now we've got too many men, it looks like, on the Miners. Royer was down floor, and there were still 5 defenders. Sounds like the Outlaws had too many men too, from what I'm being told. I just saw Royer. When I looked, I just saw Royer down the floor. Apparently there was an Outlaw with him, and that had changed. So we blow it back in, Outlaw ball.
The Outlaws penalty
Both teams go to the box for too many men, 4-on-4. Fans were screaming for too many men, but their own team had too many men as well. As Ganton comes down floor, 3-on-1. Miners got numbers. Ganton, wrong side of the floor, feeds Kennedy, stopped by Hetman. Kennedy looking for his second of the game. Hetman still has not let in a goal since he came in early in the second period. Royer sidesteps a check. Heavy hacks there, still has it. Royer, you can tell the player's footing again is not great. Cannot plant and turn away as an Outlaw gets sent into the crease. Looks like Forgrave. Miners ball. A minute to go in the 4-on-4, 5.5 to go in the game. Half wall, operated by Bowen. Bowen tried to hit Lachlan, who was cut in the face of his defender. Guys heavily into the boards. Royer lost the ball. Outlaw possession. And now, again, like, if you're the Miners, I think you have to start pulling McLeod every possession. At this point, it's kind of late. It's 5 minutes to go. And you're down 4. Dewart, like, what's another goal at this point? As that's a really nice save with the glove by McLeod. Right now, I think McLeod's got to come. He's creeping to the bench. He's looking at the bench. Nobody's motion. See, I can see him tapping his pads. Still no sign. Ball bounces to center. They say it went off an Outlaw. It will not be over and back. Outlaw's bench irate. Official Wes Kendall says that it was over and back. Yeah, I was watching McLeod very closely there. He was tapping his pads, looking at the bench, and they never waved him over. I don't know. As the Outlaws come back down floor, a bit of a trip. Again, man, this floor is bad. As Williamson goes down to the floor. And with just over 4 minutes to go, we'll get another wipe. Looks like a Miners in the box. Ganton. Now it's going to be very tough, steep hill for the Miners to climb, short-handed, 4 minutes to go, down 4. If I'm the Outlaws, I'm not shooting this ball until there's less than 5 seconds on the shot clock. 30 seconds, almost more valuable than a goal at this point, or just as at least. Simonson, Harris. He does shoot it, goes off of a body. They'll get a fresh 30 now. Ball down low with Forgrave up top. Simonson surveys. Gets it to Harris, who's had a big game here tonight. Forgrave up top. Simonson back to Harris. That left side continues to dominate the possession. Skip pass and a quick stick down low on the crease by Forgrave. Good read there by McLeod to get over. And now the ball is bounced at the body of Turner. He makes the stop and picks the ball up. Turner near the Outlaw bench is going to have a double converge on him. Pops the ball into the air. And we're going to have an Outlaw possession. And Hopefully Turner's okay. He's bent over on the floor here by the Outlaw bench. It looks like the remaining on the power. 3 minutes to go in the game. The Outlaws look like they're in full control of this as we head down the stretch. Simonson to Dewart. Twisted off of the near post. That'll be out. Outlaws are going to keep possession. As they've had continuous resets on this power play. Basically possessing it for the entire time. They got 20 seconds remaining on it. Simonson back from Dewart. Now Harris. Simonson thought about pulling the trigger. He feeds Dewart. Steps into it. Stopped by McLeod. And now McLeod bounces it to center. The Miners got to go here as Lachlan comes into the offensive zone. He double clutches it. He has to go collect it. Two Outlaws meet him on the boards. Does a good job to keep that ball up high so they can't reach it. He gets taken into the boards heavily. It'll be interference. Miners ball. 2 minutes to go now. McLeod still in net. I think at this point the Miners are kind of waving the white flag a bit as the floor is bad. I don't know if these teams want to risk much more have much more risk of injury. Both teams want this to end at this point. The ball goes in behind the net. We got more penalties.
I can help though. My girlfriend works right next to our place. Like she can wait around. If we don't tear down,
Coincidentals here. Miners and Outlaws each going to the box. Ball gets blown back in with Simonson in possession. He quickly moves it over to Royer. Simonson off ball cut in behind him. Forgrave scores. And the Outlaws are going to hit double digits. (10-5) with a minute and a half to go. Draws, move back. Deep into the Outlaws zone. Hetman steps out, who deserves a lot of credit. He came in with the score 5-5 or maybe 6-5 Outlaws and it was early in the second period. Hasn't let a goal in since. Chayton Hetman doing some really good work for the Outlaws as the Miners come back down. Needham, pick set. Now on Griniak, stopped by Hetman. Walker has to get out of the crease. Walker and his defender go down. Man, this floor. don't like to see this. At this point, if I'm the Miners, I just sail this into the zone and let the Outlaws walk the game out. But it looks like they're going to try and get another shot here. Bowen going to go one-on-one. Now he has a second defender, and then the ball goes off of him, almost in the net, but he was standing in the crease anyway. Ball in the corner, picked up by the Outlaws, and I would expect them to just hold this ball once they get over center. As Duff not giving up. Ooh, and that's a hard hit as Gain was falling. I think it was Ganton coming over and caught him flush on the back, and I don't know, he looks like he's in pain. But this game needs to end. They should run the last 9 seconds off, and it looks like it will. So that means that the Outlaws are going to move into a tie for first place in the senior division with a 10-5 win over the Miners. The Miners fall to 3-1. The Outlaws improve to 3-1. And in what was a back-and-forth game early on, the Outlaws go up 4-0. The Miners tie it 5-5. The Outlaws come back quickly 8-5 and then held on the rest of the way. And Hetman coming in relief of Cavalinas to get the win. Final score from Beaumont. The Outlaws 10, the Miners 5. They double up the perennial Alberta champions. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on NetFront Sports. Hit like and subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. Final score from Beaumont. Outlaws 10, Miners 5. Talk to you soon.